What's going on? We got a new haircut. We're ready for another edition of X-Feed for this week. What's up? My name is Ashiller. If this is the first time you've ever seen this, please stay for like 2 minutes. If you hate it, get the hell out of here. But today is going to be filled with a whole bunch of stuff that I've been accumulating over the timeline. Admittedly, I'm going to make a super clickbait thumbnail on this, highlighting how Nintendo is in Web3. And that's simply not the case. This person made a cool little doodle putt type of aspect. But for the aspect of somebody seeing this for the first time, I was like, oh my God, when I saw that, and I was like, wait, never mind. This is just somebody that's doing a cool piece of fan art, but it gave me the reminder of, damn, when these big players get in and a Web3 game is associated with it, holy sweet mother of pearl. Far too many bystanders here. If you see something going on that you don't agree with, speak up. Listen, we're going to throw down the hammer today. Otherwise, people will continue to be bullied, scammed, rugged, and pushed out of Web3. Let's build an industry we are proud of. With that being said, if you're proud of me here with the stream and you want to let somebody know that you're proud of me and you want to share the fun insights that we have here, please share it with at least one friend. And I got to show you guys the subscriber count later. It's going absolutely bananas. This is the wildest thing I've seen. The US is an effing nightmare to live in, I swear. AC on full blast for the non-tipper. Imagine you order a shakaroni from Papa John's and the delivery person gets pissed off, so they turn on their AC and make your food cold. Unbelievable. You are not trading NFTs for the reason you think. Animoca backed, launched by Xtero, team from Disney, and Fortnite. None of that is actually important. I mean, I beg to differ, but okay, let's see what we got here. The only thing that matters when you buy is why are people going to buy from me? That's the only way your NFT gets sold at a higher price. Yo, Fizzy, good morning, sir. And why the right time to sell never feels great. You need to sell when there is still gas left in the tank. Here's one way to think about it. If we're waiting for X to happen, Binance listing, staking, airdrop, etc., ask yourself, is your timeline already aware of the event? What will people be looking forward to after that? If the next catalyst is unknown or weaker than the current one, you know what you should be doing. But most people don't because it feels too good to sell when things are bullish, and that's where most people, myself included, have lost the most. Don't get lost in the Kool-Aid. All right, interesting insights here. Real talk, opportunities in crypto are endless. The only thing you need to do is find them before they become obvious to everyone else. Okay, who's been chilling root for you for the past year? And okay, we're up 200%. Jeez. But with that being said, honestly, there's a lot of room here where you can find things, you can participate, you can learn a whole lot, and I 100% agree. The opportunities in crypto are endless. I'll be the first to say it. Okay, dude, let's go basketball. What do we got here? Hype is dead. Bullshit. What started off as a key marketing tool has now become a dead speculative indicator across all Web3. Matter of fact, it's become extremely difficult to tell which projects are ones to be bullish on against those who don't deserve a single bit. We'll get into some upcoming launches and go over that in just a second. However, I believe there's a time and place for hype to take place. If you manage to accumulate the noise and attention, you must act quickly. Engaging in a slow manner reflects teams' lack of understanding the Web3 space and its dynamic. On the other hand, there are times where hype should simply not be the focus, which I think we've seen for some collections over the past little bit. People are saying what's going on, yada, yada, and the team's not really hyped up anything, and that's kind of what they're alluding to here. Typically, this happens around the post-mint stage. At this part of the funnel, you'd want an even balance between interest, sustainability, and growth. These three have become core pillars in many successful projects that have lasted beyond a year. Thus, if you're looking to garner hype, don't act accordingly to how Web3 wants it. Do what's best for the project and always prioritize organic growth over time. So again, the big takeaway for me of this is like they're talking about like post-stage mint hype and whatnot. And the reason that we have this whole thing about post-mint is because half of the stuff is still building out and they're simply just getting funds until the day that they are able to launch. The benefit of airdrop farming is a lot bigger than just making quick money. It teaches you how to become proficient on chain with bridging, depositing, staking, swapping, etc., how to find alpha on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, and how protocols market leverage hype. And I agree with that. You do learn a lot from participating. NFT influencers be like free mint, backed by Pantera and Animoca, Keck. Supply of 100 million in funding, free mint, Seedify incubated, Binance Launchpad partner, game ready, token drop for NFT holders, Team X, US government, and Apple. Who wants whitelist? Truey. Funny tweet. Absolutely love it. Get ready to smile for the camera. Jeez. So here we go. More attacks on potentially MetaMask's kind of domination within the Web3 space. Rabby wallet here. Again, there is no Rabby wallet. We highlighted this on a previous episode where they were saying for community concerns that right now I guess it's just on desktop. But with that being said, they're having a snapshot that sounds like an airdrop's potentially coming, and again, everybody's looking to MetaMask. Get MetaMask, OpenSea, both of them haven't launched a token. Anyway, and there was another one with the Rainbow wallet that I do have a video. If you are on the YouTube channel, go back and you can see a couple ones for that. So this is interesting. Today you can literally fly with Grape, and this is an integration where we have Web3 combined with something else. However, when we're looking at this for Travala, they're doing like 4,000 travel credit giveaways, but you can book three 3 million hotels, flights, and activities with 100 plus payment options, including crypto. There we go. Listen, you're trying to find that vacation, the perfect one for you and your honey? There we go. Not bad, eh? Apparently we can use crypto now. Wag me. Scrolling the timeline right before hype mints is fun because you can tell exactly who has whitelist presale and who doesn't. Exactly the reason why we're going to FUD a whole bunch of stuff today. One thing to remember about today's playoff game. Is anybody enjoying the football over the weekend? Holy shit. Unlike Green Bay and Kansas City, the Bills don't have heaters under the field. They are adding it to their new stadium, but it's been below freezing for most of the week, and this field will be hard as a rock. Imagine watching people play football on concrete. That's what's going to happen a little bit later today. Okay, the Blur thesis. Blast launch and subsequent airdrop is a wealth effect for the entire NFT ecosystem, which renews protocol activity. Want to harp on this for a second. We have more discussions later from other people's thoughts, but everybody that's a big player in Web3 feels like they've waited until the start of 2024 to launch these big things. What does that include? Potentially free claims, potentially free this, potentially staking that's a part of this, that, and the other thing. And we are going to see this huge liquidity event. So very much agree with that first point. Reduction in the cost to speculate on NFTs via Blast will allow Blur to finally implement a 0.5% trading fee. At current weekly NFT volumes, 133.5 million translates into 34.7 million annually. Rumors circulating around launch of new Blur NFT finance products, plus potential ordinals integration. Blur is simply the most superior EVM NFT marketplace aggregator with unrivaled UX for sophisticated NFT traders. A clear blue chip with almost zero competition. In the words of Peter Thiel, competition is for losers. So excited to see what happens with the NFT marketplace wars. Again, does OpenSea really have a chance? And I think there's going to be an interesting component of this that I'll get to in a second. So, hyped regarding if you have whitelist or not. I don't have whitelist, so we might FUD a little bit here. But for these crypto undeads, I don't know how this has literally been all over my timeline, but here's what you need to know. This Tuesday, the 16th of January, you'll finally be able to participate in our legendary story. To ensure you're well prepared, here's how we're managing the mint and protecting distribution. At 8 p.m. UTC, they have the pre-mint. During this period, we'll mint and distribute tokens to pre-sale buyers and our treasury. They have the allow list an hour later. This is when we'll open minting for allow list wallets, limited to 1 mint each. Again, these new mints, they always have some kind of issue with them, so hopefully that's not the case with this, but get ready to see the FUD on the timeline if that's the case. We're pleased to share that there is currently no over allocation. And then at 9:30, they have the waitlist, yada, yada, yada. Crypto deads are about to once and for all bridge the gap between Solana and Ethereum. So from my understanding, this is like a mint that's on Solana, but I guess with that mention that it's going to affect Ethereum in some kind of way. Seen a lot of people make these arguments. That's just because I guess all the money's floating around. If someone can give me an actual maths for why you can't retire on 10 mil, excluding anomalies and insane spending, I'll give you $1,000. I agree. All these people saying I couldn't retire off 10 mil. What in the hell do you do for monthly spendings? That's crazy. So the title of this video is talking about the prizes within Web3, and I think that it is going to be a monstrous effect because you have to remember how much funding do these Web3 teams, if they haven't blown it all, they're sitting on a lot. So Orangey highlighting that there's a 3 million FPS tournament happening soon, and the Web2 gamers don't even know yet, and that's happening with Play Shrapnel. So again, think of the big players within the space, collections that you see on the timeline all the time. Any of them that are getting into gaming, you know they have funding, they're launching games. How do you get people to play them? Well, apart from, just making a good game and naturally, organically earning an audience. Hey, here's a whole bunch of money. Come and play it. So I think that that will garner a heck of a lot of attention. And this is going to be something that continues to spiral and be more evident in 2024 as blockchain gaming gets better. Say and TIA will outperform Sol just by a factor of market cap size. For anybody that's new in the space, I feel like this is widely not paid attention to, is the fact of market cap size. Do we look at Ethereum and be like, oh yeah, that's like an easy 10x? No, because the market cap would be exponentially higher. So that's why when you see these lower cap coins being talked about, it's like, okay, if there's fundamentals, all these other things, it's just a matter of, okay, like, can these massive giants outperform what could be a small 10x? And that's why a lot of people play in meme coins, because you can put like $100 in, you get enough people where the market cap goes up to literally anything, then that can turn into like a 50 to 100x. But I don't really dabble in meme coins too much. But speaking of memes here, this is a foldable projector. Why would this ever be needed? I don't know. I mean, I guess if you have like a party and you can't fit your laptop screen within the area, I guess you set this up somewhere and then bada boom, you have a projector. It looks kind of clunky and that guy tried to wrap it. Not really a huge advocate for it, but let's see if the projector technology gets better alongside a blockchain. The strength of partnerships in Web3 gaming. All right, this better be an absolute banger from Immutable.
What I'll tell you about partnerships and why I think partnerships are really great is because it essentially allows you to get more brand awareness about what it is that you're doing with your product with another organization. It helps for both sides of the partnership to get exposure out and to sort of share the news. And in some cases, especially when the products are complementary, it allows you to achieve things that you wouldn't necessarily be able to achieve, without your partner, right? What I think partnerships don't do, however, is make sure that the core product is good, right? So you could do a ton of really, really great partnerships, and that helps to amplify something. But if your core product, like if your actual game is not in a really good state and doesn't have the fundamentals in place, the partnership doesn't actually do that amplification.
Really? I mean, there was a lot of partnerships that happened. Mr. DJ Toasty, good morning, sir. I feel like there was a lot of partnerships that happened previously that, I don't know, it was like, hey, we're just trying to get like attention, and there was like really no benefit to either party. Okay, so this came up on my timeline yesterday, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. OpenSea is doing this like Pixel Vault thing. And then you click on the account, because somebody retweeted this, it's got 20 followers. This is your daily reminder. You might see shit on the timeline, like 90% chance that it could be a scam. So check it, because those 10% things are bangers, but I thought that was super interesting that got shared, as this was like an actual event, and then it is not. Yo, true. You like the haircut? It looks all right, eh? Debating taking off the headphones. It goes way down here. But yeah, thank you, sir. All right, so a little bit talk here regarding a poll that I did the other day. I'm going to need to bring this up right quick because I want to kind of segue this. But I asked a question about, okay, what do we think the next wave is within NFTs? Because we have really like a lot, right? It's all about the narrative. And so we had Metaverse Land NFTs, AI integrated NFTs, DeFi integrated NFTs, which I just kind of viewed as anything that had some sort of yield to it, and then historical NFTs. And AI integrated NFTs won by like a landslide. Now, there was a couple comments on here saying, oh, you could put in Web3 gaming, and I mean, it would just like flat out win. Like everybody's bullish on this. It's not different, right? So I felt like I needed to leave that out. But knowing that AI is happening here, I've been paying attention to Altered State Machine. It's been very quiet in that camp, but apparently in February, we're getting a couple of things for Gods and Goblins, this AI Racers game. But roadmap includes equipping Altered State Machine brains so you can mix and match players and brains, which will bring individual stats in that you can try and optimize to improve your win rate, as well as other in-game events in God mode. This I am excited for, but at the same time in my head I'm like, damn, like, is this going to be something where you're going to have to scroll through a marketplace forever, maybe similar to Axie Infinity, where you're looking for like certain traits, these kind of things, and it's cumbersome, right? Like, is there a way that this is going to be easy, or is it just going to be so in depth and that's just going to be kind of like a part of the game? Interested to see what exactly that looks like. This is a thing, apparently, NA could never. The traffic stop moves. This is in China, and depending on the traffic requirement, it swings across the road. this would never happen in NA. But I thought, damn, that is crazy. There's 21 must-watch clips about Bitcoin here. I'm not watching them all. I'll watch this first one, and it better be good.
Bitcoin will never die as long as there's one person alive in this world that yearns for freedom. That's what that tweet says. Whether it's a Bitcoin miner or a person with a Bitcoin wallet or somebody running a node or a company, it doesn't matter who it is, as long as there's at least one person in the world that understands Bitcoin and yearns for freedom, right? It will continue. It is a decentralized ideology, and you can't kill an idea. Like, well, you can't kill an idea until nobody is left on earth that believes in the idea, right? And the idea is freedom and sovereignty. That's the idea, manifested in a technology protocol. And that's what you want to be, right?
Be who you want to be.
Other ideas.
B-A-I-B-R-B, something, something, Barbie girl, right? That's how it goes. So anyway, that's interesting. It's funny, though, the amount of, like, Michael Saylor being the front face of Bitcoin to some here. Now, this is a little bit up for debate, if you will. So this has got to get your thinking cap on. A lot of people faded Pudgy in 2023 when Luca was an easy bet. Don't make the same mistake in 2024 and fade more super cute IP with the team working their faces off. Okay, so I want to argue with this just for a second. So when Luca came in and he bought Pudgy Penguins for $2 million, did that feel like it was an easy bet for the majority of people that understood him, that followed stuff, yada, yada? Maybe. I feel like I wasn't really familiar with him. But the thing that I find kind of, I don't know, like the right term to use here, but they're saying don't fade more super cute IP with a team that's working, right? Like, okay, so if it's just got super cute IP and people are working on it, like, how many collections have we seen from 21 and 22 that were cute IP that we could argue the team worked really hard on, right? Like, obviously Luke is doing it in public and this and that. So, I mean, like, I kind of agree with it, right? But I feel like you have to preface it in a way. But it sounds really good. What's going on, brother? Yo, tagline. So I got my hairdo, bro, and tagline tagged me in the Discord, and he said the Shaq-a-roni's back. I don't know if that guy's full of lying, but yo, the fliss will be flying if he's lying. It's crazy. Oh, Narmac, is that you? Only your guys' names are showing up in blue, and I'm like blind as hell. It's crazy. Imagine if Schiller got a low taper fade. Truly. All right, listen, the liquidity's coming back in NFTs, and we're gonna make it, fam. Holy sweet shit. This is like the biggest takeaway that I have is when we have these big, massive sales that are like, wow, some idiot is spending hundreds of $1,000s on a picture that is like code. That's ridiculous, right? However, with that being said, we do know that for the Spirit Izukis, apparently it's like an elite community. You have all these people that have a bunch of money, and when you have a whole bunch of people that have a bunch of money, they get together and then probably moon shit on the side, maybe a little bit of market manipulation here or there. And the other thing, I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. But still, to me, this is bullish that we had an Izuki sell for almost 100 ETH, but $236,000. Holy sheesh. All right. Speaking of which, 1 year and 6 months later, the best offer is 60 ETH. So at the time, I guess this is going back here. Is that the highest offer for this gold ape was $1 million. $1 million, right? And that's insane. And basically the person's just saying, yo, like 6 months from now, you'll cry for that offer. And like the ones now is like 150K. So like, you know, we're down a lot. We're down a lot from the offers, but still, you never know what's going to happen. But we were in a craze for those NFTs before. Overwhelmed by play to airdrop opportunities. Not really, because I'm not looking for them, but let's take a look. Let me guide you on how I strategize the games to focus on. Get it? Pixels Online, the hardest to qualify without spending anything. That's going to be tough. Bought around 10K berry for fun. I'm at 2.9K points and going to qualify for the raffle at 3K points soon. Please don't spend any money if you don't like the game. It ain't worth it. All right, Drewy. Star Symphony. There are 3 new songs each week. Is this a music NFT? Make sure to mint using your Tezos wallet. I haven't seen Tezos in forever, but I think Tezos is sponsoring one of the League of Legends teams in like the LEC for like the Europe division. So I don't know. Maybe they got a couple of gamers going to get on Tezos. It's currently at easy difficulty. I bet a lot of people won't get points in the later weeks when it's harder difficulties. So I guess you mint that. Kuro Beast, they have different activities now and then. The current Beast Brawl event has a daily bonus if you join in. I focus more on Kuro Wild since I liked that one more. So we got like a little character there. And Goblin Games. Gobble. Mine. They didn't disclose what they'll be airdropping, but this hyper casual game is so addicting. There's no reason for me to tell you not to go. I'm not going to read the rest of it, but again, as we mentioned a minute ago, there is a ton of opportunities if you are out there paying attention. Okay, another thing. Keep it on the train of like, there's just going to be a lot of things you're going to run into that's going to be like potentially, oh, that's cool. Here's this person that has some kind of status and they're talking to me, or this person's DMing me. They found my account. I've been working so hard to tweet out there and I'm getting a follower and somebody's interested in what I'm doing. And then it's a scam or some other thing. And I feel like there's a shit ton of people that are fake engagement farming here being like, hey, follow away. Oh my goodness, this is great. It's all probably the same bozo making a bunch of accounts and you're a fish for following it. There's going to be some like legit people, but remember, most of the time people are out there to scam you. Pretty funny how in less than a week's time, we've seen the timeline transform from all-time highs and $100,000 plus in the next few months to seeing posts not just questioning for whether or not a local top is in, but whether or not the cycle top is in. Listen, the emotional roller coaster. You know, like we could do a dance about this and it's not even like a joke, right? Like think of how many new people are coming into the space. They're like, damn, this Bitcoin ETF, all my friends said this was great. Oh my God, the price went down. It's over. We're ordering a shakaroni and we need some ice cream to go for dessert. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It's kind of funny though, the amount of emotional swings that we have. We listened to Fred Krueger the other day, and I tweeted yesterday or the day before about how apparently the ETH deadline, again, keep that in mind, is coming up soon. And I was like, wait, what? I thought this was way further away, but Freddy Krueger is coming through saying there will not be an ETH ETF under Gensler and Warren. I get that the Bloomberg boys think there will be. I get that Fink would like one. I'm not morally opposed to one myself, but I think this video of Gensler is pretty clear. This is a one-off for a clear commodity. People buying ETH with the idea that this is happening in the near future are making a big mistake. I mean, listen, half of us are already like, our exposure to ETH is in NFTs. No? And this is crazy, bro. It's kind of crazy that the culture of golf and skiing are just leave your thousands of dollars of equipment wherever, it'll be fine. Listen, it's the type of people that it attracts, I guess. I mean, I don't know. That's a completely valid point, though. You go to the ski shack, they're throwing the skis up there, go for a hot dog, get a little bit of hot chocolate, and no problem. You look like you play pickleball. I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment, but hell yeah, bro. If you understand that it's never been more over than it is now, oh God. The labor force participation rate for men. So back in 1950, this is almost 90%. Now we're at almost 50%. Yo, that's crazy. This graph is actually insane when you look at it. Look at this guy. He's all cleaned up. Listen, the Bowmeister. What's going on? So I downloaded old school RuneScape again, right? And I put in this email and they're like, yo, you've imported an account. And I was like, huh? And it says, damn it, Bowen. So at some point I made an old school RuneScape account that was called Damn It, Bowen. I don't remember why. Who knows, but we're keeping the name for now. Pudgy Penguins just made history with an all-time high floor price, 30,000 American dollars for one Pudgy Penguin. I will still continue to do my best to onboard the best of the best into the Pudgy Penguin ecosystem. It's never too late. But this is nuts. The amount of money that is floating in the space, don't forget it. Sure, you might be bearish on certain things here and there, but the money is here. Scam alert. Today I was targeted by the most sophisticated scam I have experienced so far. Bah, 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 bah. Luckily, they didn't manage to steal a single cent from me, but I could have lost everything I had, and it could easily happen to you. So, TLDR, I've already read this. We're not going through it. He had like a virtual machine that he downloaded this program on because this team wanted to offer him a job. The site looked legit. They downloaded things. They had videos. All of it looked squeaky clean, top notch. Like if you were going to go and look at any of the top IPs or projects right now, you would think absolutely no different. But they wanted him to download this file to, I don't know, try the game or something. Then they realized they couldn't because he was doing it on the virtual machine, completely blocked him. So again, it's dangerous out here. It is dangerous out here. Anon saying here, successfully derailed a rug project that tried to stealth mint because I caught their founder red-handed. 8,400 mints left possible. So far, only 4 wallets minted. Again, a lot of people seeing opportunity as liquidity is flying. Some parallel news. I guess they're integrating some other PFPs from other collections in here. Cool Cats, Moonbirds, Mutant, Suzuki, all the stuff that you would typically find on the lending protocols, if you will. So it is funny that those keep getting more attention. And I don't know. I think like it's cool, but at the same time, when you're playing a game and then somebody's like rocking an avatar that like just doesn't fit with like the flow of the game, I feel like that might look a little strange, but still kind of cool. All right. Now, last Friday, I think I talked a little bit about Metaverse Land, and within the poll we ran, Metaverse Land was relatively high up there and what people think, you know, something bullish is going to happen. So one of the ones that people don't really pay attention to at all, and I'd be very intrigued if this kind of gets the attention back there, because we have other side plots, right? We have the Hytopia NFT worlds that's seeing a lot of action again. We have the burrows for what we're waiting for with the Ready Player One and Futureverse, and we'll see how that shapes up. But for Axie, this is something that has been around for a while, and they've revamped it. There was a lot of decisions that they didn't like, and it's just, you know what I mean? So I'm curious if we see Axie really kind of lead the charge here for the metaverse type deal. Yo, Eddie, yeah, what's going on? What's going on? Listen, you got to talk to the man. You got to talk to Mr. Phil in that Discord. He's the one to talk to regarding that. Okay, so again, Metaverse Land, very interested for Axie. Now, on the topic of airdrops here, Farcana is another project that we highlighted not too long ago, and what they apparently got like 10 or 12 million in funding, and they are doing this thing where you can play and complete missions to become eligible for their airdrops. So doing a quick little look here, they're calling it the FAR token, and let's see the Bybit. They're highlighting there on that. Is there any kind of info? I guess more info to come. What is the token? It's a utility token of the Farcana game and ecosystem. It not only allows seamless transactions, but also has a number of other uses within the Farcana ecosystem. It will enable gamers to buy and access season passes with cosmetic rewards, which is something we'll kind of see if that starts getting up there more in terms of like the season pass, the battle pass. My only really experience with that is with heavy metal. Before I was like, this is not going in a good direction, is they had a battle pass that gave you some perks, but the pricing just didn't really make a lot of sense. I remember a lot of people had issues with that. There's going to be tournament passes, tournament entry, premium NFT skins, crafting particles, in-game credits, unique pets, and more. So very interested to see as we have everything get tokenized. Is it more the focus on whatever it's built on, right? Where we're seeing a lot of games on Arbitrum, et cetera, or it is going to be these individual game tokens because those individual games have as much success, which goes into like the ranking and the discussion of, okay, if you're new to the space and you're like, do I pick like an individual game or do I go for like an entire protocol? I feel most people would say, oh yeah, the protocol is something that is safer. Farcana 333 NFTs coming soon on Bitcoin. Did you check their Twitter? Wait, they're dropping on Bitcoin too? Like actually? That's interesting. Well, okay, so we saw Forgotten Runes do that with their Shadows, I think it's called, and they raised like 6 mil on that. We're seeing Ink on BTC was another one that I've seen on my timeline. It really does feel like the whole Bitcoin aspect of things is picking up there. So we highlighted Age of Dino last week, and this is more news from them. We're thrilled to share that we partnered with Age of Dino. Together, we'll push the boundaries of Web3 gaming and invigorate the Xtero ecosystem. So this is Paleo AI. Not a whole lot of followers on this one, but meet Paleo, your very own digital buddy, your forever AI BFF for you to interact, discover, and play with. So the beginning of the stream, we talked a little bit about AI integrated NFTs. There's an AI integration for a really recently hyped up mint. Do you remember the times people were buying goblins for 10 ETH saying it will flip? BAYC. Great memories. I do remember that. Goblin Town, for whatever reason, the timeline, the social currency, all of that was flying for whatever reason. And then we're here, and yo, that's crazy, bro. We got 2 subs back to back here. Mr. Bacon with the Yui for 27 months.
Has Ethereum gone up?
And then Ethereum here, Mr. Baumeister, thank you, good sir. If we look on the 1 month chart here, we are up 12%, and on the year, we're up 63%. So things are looking pretty all right. However, I know that you got in a while ago. So I think you bought around like 2,000. Maybe it was a bit under that, but it skyrocketed, it's there, and now we're back over. So you know what I mean? We have all these ebbs and flows, but as long as you trust the process, if you trust the process, wag me, brother, apparently. More scamming things here. If you know what Wallet Guard is, this is a security for your crypto assets, yada yada. Basically, it's a browser plugin, and it will check your transaction to make sure that you are not signing a scam link. And one of the founders for that is saying that this person is out DMing different people, and they got the account suspended. So that's good. But again, always remember for the details to be careful. All right, another CryptoPunk derivative here. I was like, okay, why is this all over my timeline? But it's ittybits_ETH have evolved a lot over the last day. I started off with encryptions are still a thing. That's interesting. While simultaneously saying to myself, great, another punk derivative. Just what we need. After that, I read Cosmos Medicini's prediction that these would become the mutants of punks. I laughed. Yo, me too, brew. But I went and I bought a small moon bag anyway, thinking he's almost definitely wrong, but maybe there's a 1% chance he's right. Then I went to the website and saw this GIF and started looking at the collection in more detail. I'm not saying these will be the mutants of punks. In reality, the most likely outcome is they go to 0, like almost all derivatives, but they also don't feel like all the other derivatives. I believe these were made with more genuine intention, so I've landed on now I actually like them. So I guess they just removed the pixels and like squished it together here. But on-chain 12 by 12 is authenticated with SHA-256 hashtag matching IDs. Respectfully, I don't know what in the hell that means. But this has kind of been all over the timeline here. Again, will be relatively interesting to see, as we've seen the node monkeys for Bitcoin ordinals take an absolute storm, dominating sales in that regard. And this is new. Maybe this gets the crypto punks to want to spend a little bit, right? What attracts what? When you're a new community out there, what gets whose attention? And for a long time, when Bored Apes minted, everybody was trying to get the apes' attention, whether it was be derivatives of that, offering art. And this is something, well, maybe the CryptoPunk community could be interested in. This 1000x. All right, so Boomer's highlighting this, and it's the dangers of Web3 gaming private sales and pre-sales. This is something that I have seen. I've not really been offered a whole lot, right? Like, I mean, probably people are like, okay, like this guy's not like a whale. That guy's a fish. Not going to talk to him, right? But it is interesting to have the discussion around like, okay, if you were seeing this Web3 space, like, how do you invest? And it's become easier and easier, I feel like, over time, but at the same time, there are risks with it. Many Web3 gaming mints raises this year, few playable games. Be you all careful now. I want to take a word on protecting your capital. You've struggled hard during the bear. Don't go and lose it on a string of bad investments that will lock your liquidity out of the upcoming bull run. I see a lot of private sale offers for new games, and I turn down almost all of them, unless there is a real blue chip potential or the project has something special going on. There are a lot of new investors who think this is the shortcut to gen wealth. Maybe, but it's just as much of a shortcut to getting wrecked too. My investing rule of thumb here for gaming private sales, don't invest in any project, especially private sales that do not have an imminent incoming game to showcase. If you were going to degen into gaming bets, I would choose NFT mints over private sales. That's kind of interesting. At least with an NFT mint, you can get back some of that liquidity by offloading the NFT or holding for the token drop, assuming the gaming token drop meta still holds in some months if such is delivered. You can play the degen game with new gaming mints and calculate a return based on tokenomics if there is a token drop to reclaim your principal if the math works out. But I think it's still a risky bet if the market turns sour. You'll go from spectacular to unwilling bag holder. But at least you do have the option to try and exit. You can't with a private sale. But locking your capital into one of these Web3 gaming private sales I see being hawked all over the space now, usually with the alpha group syndicates being last as the final buyers, is risky. Be very careful here and know what you are potentially locking your capital into. Okay, so there's a lot more to that, but I just thought that was kind of interesting. What projects you looking into on the D-Pen narrative? HNT leading the last bull run. Will it come back? Okay, yeah. I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I'm not sure what the deep pen meta is. So I got hit up from a friend that was like, yo, there is this company and they're launching kind of these like physical hardware miners, and their whole thing was about like privacy, decentralization, yada, yada. So I responded being like, okay, like, this is, talking about privacy coins and stuff. And I mean, I kind of steer more to the general, I guess more populated things, if you will, or stuff that everybody's kind of talking about just because it's easier. But he's like, no, like I asked them and they said, it's not privacy, it's DPIN. And I'm like, huh? So if you want to give me the insights, I do need to look into that because that's one of the narratives that I'm not really familiar with, but I appreciate you bringing that up. And that's why we love doing this, because we all get to learn it together. Okay, so Wolves DAO has been talking about the Bornless game here and two key learning things. And this is fantastic. We don't have to listen to an entire space. We get the juice right here. They're one of the few games going for Steam compliance, and it looks like it's paying off with over 190,000 wish list. They did this with almost zero marketing spend. Key actions that got them there: the localization focus. Dozens of languages help them get in front of thousands of people who are otherwise unreachable. I genuinely agree with this. I don't know how many collections have tried to go for a bilingual approach, have those things within their content, et cetera, et cetera. I'm noticing a lot of people trying to launch Korean, which I think is interesting. But yeah, for the dozens of languages, love it. A burst of organic marketing and direct outreach using their trailer to entice people to wish list on day one, calling in favors from friends, family, etc. to get them started. I mean, that's a hell of a lot of friends and family if you have 90,000 wish lists. Recognizing that Steam is driven by an algorithm and they needed to break into it quickly. So the Bornless game here, again, only 6,000 followers. Looks kind of scary, to be honest. And play that with any kids around. But it's a free-to-play FPS horror game made in Unreal Engine. Yo, what's going on, Frank? How are you? All right. So, I mean, listen. All right. Yeah, this is kind of scary. I'm not much of a horror guy, so I'm probably going to pass on that. But if you want to check it out, feel free. So we talked about this a little bit earlier, and at the beginning of the show, speak up if you think something's wrong, right? And does things make sense, right, when they happen? And the Crypto Undeads thing is interesting to me because I feel like that account went from like nothing to holy shit, it's all over my timeline. And this guy, I don't know if he's like fudding or whatever for engagement, but here's what he has to say on it.
Crypto Undead is literally just an overly botted account with no information. Like, hasn't anyone learned their lesson yet? Like, it's fucking crazy. You guys are gonna mint that fucking thing and they wanna be like crypto punks? Newsflash, you can't. That's why crypto punks are who they are. This fucking place, dude. Whatever. If you mint, shit's gonna go to nothing. You're just gonna be upset. Just another shit fucking project, unless you can prove me wrong. Crypto Undead.
FUD. Okay, so I mean, it's a genuine point where we've seen a lot of accounts have like a ridiculous amount of bots. You check the comments that have this, that, and the other thing. And I have a friend that is launching a project or working on it. And this was like a while ago. This was like about a month ago. And I saw one of their posts And I was like, wow, like, did you pay for bots? Like, what the hell's going on? And then they're like, no, like we were posting like on a personal account about all these like good gains we were having and stuff. And then we talked about the project, and all of a sudden it got like a flood of new people. And like all these people that are like begging, asking like, oh, like, how do we do in this? Like, how to one partnership, yada, 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 yada. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. But at the same time, I mean, like, I think there's genuinely a lot of projects out there that are trying to bot or have these things to make like the desire for this. And I mean, is there 52,000 people that want to get into this? I mean, maybe. I mean, for the people that I follow, and I go through my following list like somewhat regularly. I'm like, okay, like, scrolling the timeline, this isn't really providing me any value. Okay, we're gonna follow there. And if I ever do that again, apologies, love you, you're great. But I mean, I almost have like 1,000 mutuals with this. So I mean, damn, like they've definitely gotten attention. And even if they have potentially botted some things to get that attention, well, damn it, they're there now. You know what I mean? Yo, Fran, what's going on? Where is Messi? Yo, Messi or Ronaldo? That is the question of the day. But here, let's give some insight, because we don't want to FUD everything. We want to back things up with fact, right? So I spent 14 hours researching how crypto undeads became the most hyped NFT mint on Sol. Here's what I found. Drum roll, please. To understand the source of the hype, I used deduction and eliminated things that are clearly unrelated to the launch. So let's begin by examining them. Founder was getting 1K impressions on his posts when the project was launched, so hype definitely didn't come from there. Under 100K impressions. On to the next one. I guess this is the founder here, known Dollar. Finney Jr., Real Madrid, baby. Dollar doesn't seem to be any different from any degen when it comes to trading NFTs. And Dollary means like the founder. He made many posts praising Moonbirds, and for some reason he even deleted a tweet in which he was saying this: I can tell Kevin Rose is a super stellar leader and will send proof in Moonbirds to another level. Yo, he deleted the tweet. Dude, Kevin Rose catching strays every day. So the hype didn't come from being an insane trader either. And that's when I found Dollar's first project, Provenance. It's an exclusive application-based collective. So how does Provenance connect to the hype? As I mentioned before, it's an exclusive collective. So I decided to find out who the members were. How? Well, each member minted a soul-bound token. Price was 1 ETH, by the way. With a little bit of searching, I found it. From there, I took a look at who the members are, and this collective includes huge whales, art collectors, artists that were auctioned at Christie's, opinion leaders, and other well-known individuals. My bet is that they were the ones behind the hype of crypto undeads. Okay. So there was a project that the founder previously launched that had all these mega individuals. Not saying market manipulation, because it's not buying and selling stuff, but there is a massive effect if you can get enough people that have enough social credit, that want to talk about things, that are passionate about something. When you see that all over the timeline, whether you get into it or not, you pay attention, then see how others react, and then we kind of formulate this. And that's why what X is essentially is this crazy beast, to really have this, engine of how there's always interest in something new. Here's a voice tweet where Dollar is saying, Providence is the best launchpad for many experiments, products, and ideas that could shape the future of the space. I'm equally relying on members to contribute and create value of the Providence. Do you think the cabal behind Crypto Undead's hype is real? Let me know in the comments. So again, I found that super interesting, and I hope you guys feel more informed from reading this. And here's another thing that I think is really, I don't know, like I saw it and I kind of was like, huh? So this is a follows you. It's an on-chain social system, right? You go on Instagram, you're able to see like people that are mutual or who's following who, but like, okay, let's go into this. Zach XBT, congrats on your optimism, Grant, but you and I know that small potatoes. This is how you will be worth 8 to 9 figs in 2 to 3 years. If you don't know who Zach XBT is, basically he's an individual that goes over and tries to highlight crypto scams, tracks people down. Generally, people think that he's a great individual for security reasons within the space. And he got like an airdrop from Optimism for that. So smart contracts will be assigned ENS names. So dumb that they haven't been already. Ethereum follow protocol makes on-chain social credit easily readable and configurable. There'll be a market for the Zach XBT follow, which I guess is similar to if, one of your favorite project founders follows you on Twitter, because people don't know whom to trust in our Wild West crypto economy. But they know Zach has invested a metric ton of goodwill into the industry. To get a Zach XBT certification or follow, which credible projects will want very badly due to name recognition and implied trust, they will eagerly pay in the form of royalties, token allocations, or a direct crypto transfer. Stated conversely, it will be too expensive for major smart contracts not to have a Zach XBT follow via EFP because lack of trust and social credit adds friction to your ecosystem. And friction means less loss of users in an open source economy where barriers to entry are extremely low, only a fork away. In 2025, you will, an end user, interact with a major contract if there's a risk that it's not imposter. Sorry, let me reread this. In 2025, will you interact with a major contract if there's a risk that it's an imposter? No. Because, I mean, right now, we pretty much just use X, right, to verify stuff. And if that account's screwed or hacked, well, damn it. You'll want the right people certifying the contract with a follow via EFP. Either way, this is super interesting. That might have made absolutely no sense to you, but it is something where we're going to get more on-chain data that's going to be able to verify things, and I think that is going to be interesting. Okay, we talk a little bit about IP, intellectual property, brands, the excitement. We've seen the wave of what NBA Top Shot was able to do, right? If they just launched what Top Shot was without the NBA, would have been top shit, right? Now, for these aspects, we're super high anytime that a brand comes into the space. And if you happen to watch the football games over the weekend, not Real Madrid or Barcelona, but the NFL football, then you would have seen that there was this huge like Peacock push. So I don't know if they paid for the rights or what, but Joe Pompliano here is saying Peacock paid the NFL $110 million for the exclusive rights to last night's playoff game. As a result, they hit #1 overall on the App Store, and their search volume on Google is currently 2x higher than any point in history. The power of the NFL is unmatched. Now, I think there's a lot of other big brands, happenings, whatever, right? Like we could throw in there saying, you know, for the NBA, as we said with Top Shot, yada, yada, but it is quite powerful what these big brands can do, and why I'm excited within the space here, because when they start coming through, oh baby. Max Payne theory indicates a flush of the Bitcoin shorts is next. Okay, so that means we moon 3.9 billion shorts total if BTC heads to 47K. And this was like a day or two ago. So if you go back to this, we were at 43K, and this was posted on the 13th, so 2 days ago. They're saying 3.9 billion shorts get flushed if we moon. All right, maybe we will take those odds. A really helpful way to think about prospective home run trades in crypto is to say, if this plays out how I think it will, would people look back and say, oh, that was so obvious? I mean, I feel like there's like very few things that you're like, okay, like that's obvious. Like in hindsight, it's like, okay, that worked out. But there's also been like major amount of things that just, have been not good, right? But some other things where it has been good and maybe quietly good is Voxy's here. A lot of people haven't talked about Voxy's, but back when Zedrun was a big player within the space, Voxy's was actually another project that was kind of on par with it. Shh, good sir. Are you trying to let out our secret too early? Just before the new Voxy Tactics revamped version is released. And this guy basically saying every 3 days or so, I earn this much voxel from my Voxy Tactics NFTs. And I think this is similar to like loaning your Voxies out and having somebody else playing for them and then earning credits off of that, but still $250 for 3 days. Not bad, not bad. Zabulba. February is an airdrop month for various coins, not corns. There will be plenty of things pumping in the space, in my opinion. I said this earlier, repeating it now. Everyone wait until 2024. Expect all the crazy shit to happen right now. Internet money is being sent to a bunch of people that are ready to pump it into the bags. So with that, I'm accumulating all sorts of things before next month rolls around. And again, very much agree with this. I'm curious if anybody doesn't, but it does feel that we are heading down that direction. Okay, here's a crazy chart just for perspective here, and maybe a little bit of a thought from my own. So $1,000 invested in Coca-Cola in 88 is now worth $1.2 million. Not bad, right? I got in an argument with somebody on my TikTok, which if you want to look it up, it's at Schillerverse. And they were like, NFTs are gambling, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, okay, let's argue that in my head for a second. I had a thought. I typed it out. There's like literally no chat limit in TikTok. It's stupid. They need to have it a little bit more. So I'm like, I'm just not going to argue it. But now you're here. We get to talk about it. I think that with the NFT space and these protocols, Web3, blockchain, etc., I kind of feel like half of it is investing in Coca-Cola, right? Like it's the infrastructure layer of what the internet is to become. We can argue the fact of whether that's like true or not about blockchain taking over the internet. 100%, sure, we can get into that. However, that's the way I look at it. So I don't think it's gambling. I think there's portions of it that can be, or like dumb theses that people create in their mind. But it's wild to think 1,000 Coca-Cola, 1.2 million. I mean, granted, this is many years later. Many years later. And Dan thinks here's kind of like a feel-good photo. Apparently it was goalie night for Blades Hockey, which I think is one of the Western Hockey Leagues. Yeah, Saskatoon Blades. Had a bunch of players out. Pretty good. Quick little check in the market here. We're waiting for the Moon City, okay? Look at the past month. We're up like 2%. Look at that spike done. Listen, have we officially retraced and we're ready to rock and roll and go to the moon? Maybe that's going to be it for this edition of XFeed. Reminder that we go live every single day from Monday through Friday, going over my XFeed, the latest in Web3. I know a whole bunch of you guys followed today. I appreciate the subscribers with that. If you are on YouTube or watching on X, please give a like to this video and please share it with one friend as well because we can grow together. And I hope you guys